Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named 𝒸👣 in the AITA subreddit. The post is titled, "I texted the woman my husband is cheating on me with that I hope she is proud of herself for being a homewrecker." Okay, so for some background, I am 24 years old and 8 months pregnant with my husband's baby. He is 26. We are over the moon, or so I thought. I started to get a weird feeling about a friend on his Snapchat whom he constantly texts but completely ignores me. I know you're never supposed to go through your husband's phone, but I could not sleep. And even though I fought the urge to look through their messages, I ended up doing it anyway. Needless to say, I found them exchanging nudes and messages about how much they love each other. When I asked him to his face if there was something going on between them and told him to just tell me the truth, he lied to me. He tried to turn the situation back on me, saying I am always trying to cause fights. He also told me that our son is the only reason our marriage is not over. After finding the messages, I wanted undeniable proof, so I took pictures on my phone of their messages. Then I found her on Facebook and texted her saying, "My husband is a liar and I hope you are proud of yourself for being a homewrecker. I have all your messages." She has not responded yet, considering it is 4 a.m. at the time I am writing this. Am I the asshole for texting her that my husband is a liar and she is a homewrecker? I will post updates as soon as I can. Update. Okay, so thanks to everyone for the feedback on my first post about this. To answer some questions, yes, she knew about me and that we are expecting our son in a month, and she still continued seeing him. Yes, I confronted him about it with the evidence. He tried to deny it at first, but then broke down and told me it was because I do not give him enough attention. A little context. I work a full-time job while he works only when it is not raining, as he does lawn care. I informed his family about what he did, and yes, I plan on leaving him. I just need to get the money to afford the divorce first. Thank you again for all the feedback on my original post. Peter09 said, "Cheaters really come up with some of the dumbest excuses ever. Not enough attention? Oh, fuck off." To this comment, user Danny Kin said, "I mean, that was basically my ex's excuse when she started cheating on me the year I was recovering from a brain tumor and multiple brain surgeries. Me being sick, exhausted, hospitalized, and going to a million appointments meant I did not have enough attention to give her, so she had to start sleeping with her best friend. It was really all my fault, you see." Lysica said, "He should be getting ready to give her and the baby attention for the next 3 to 4 years. Author Error said, "As someone who has been alone and single my entire life, the people who say they cheat because they are lonely or are not getting enough attention just blow my mind. All I can think is, do you have no friends at all?" This next story was made in the same subreddit by a user named 𝒸👣👃👏. The post is titled, "I refuse to recover at home after surgery. I am 29 years old and am really disappointed with my husband who is 30 and furious at his mother. Sorry this is so long and I am using a throwaway for privacy. For context, my husband is from the West Coast where his mother still lives. He moved to the East Coast for college and that is where we met after graduation. At the start of our relationship, she would visit 3 or 4 times a year and make him take paid time off so he could entertain her throughout her visit. After 2 years of this, while we were still dating, I asked him how we were ever supposed to go on a vacation together if all his paid time off was spent at home with his visiting mother. We agreed to save his time off for a trip to Europe we took in 2023, and he agreed to tell his mother he could not take off from work every time she visited. In my last job, I was able to work from home 4 days a week, and every time she visited, she sulked all day like a puppy whose toys had been taken away. But once my husband came home, it was like a switch flicked and she became happy and clingy again. Here is the issue now. My husband and I moved states about 6 months ago, closer to my family. I have a new doctor who recommended surgery that my old doctor kept putting off. It is not a complicated procedure and will greatly increase my quality of life for decades. My mother-in-law decided she was due for a visit and wanted to explore our new town, saying she would come to help around the house while I recovered. I was going to be out of surgery and in pain, and I really did not want to deal with her energy. However, we agreed with my husband saying this was not a sightseeing visit. She was there to help out so I could rest and recover. She could come for a proper visit later in the year. My husband dropped me off at the hospital on Wednesday. The plan was to have surgery and then spend one night at the hospital for observation. On Thursday, the doctor told me my lab results were not where he wanted them to be, so I needed to stay another night for observation and new lab work in the morning. I called my husband and told him over the phone that I would hopefully be home the next day, early in the afternoon. He did not visit at all on Thursday. On Friday, I was discharged and called my husband to tell him I would be ready in about an hour. His phone went straight to voicemail. I figured he was probably in a meeting and decided to try again later. After calling him several times over more than an hour, I called my sister, who was able to leave work for the afternoon. Many thanks to her understanding boss. She drove 90 minutes to pick me up and took me home, where I found the house in shambles. Laundry baskets on the dining room table, the litter box not cleaned since Wednesday morning, dirty plates in the sink, and so on. I broke down crying. My sister packed a bag for me and took me to her apartment to recover for 2 weeks. On Friday night, my husband called to ask where I was, saying the hospital told him I had already been discharged. He had been on a hike with his mother and did not have cell phone service, so he missed my calls. This also meant he took paid time off for his mother's visit again. Obviously, I cannot forbid him from using his paid time off, but would you not rather spend that time with your wife at the hospital instead of going on a hike with your mother? I told him I no longer feel comfortable recovering at our house and will not return until it is thoroughly cleaned and his mother is gone. He is calling me the asshole because his mother just wanted to get to know our new area, and I was unable to leave the hospital anyway, so I am making a big deal out of nothing. I yelled that he essentially abandoned me at the hospital and entertained someone who was supposed to make my recovery easier, not more stressful, and that she was meant to be there for support, not for a vacation. Maybe it is just the pain and pain medication, but am I in the wrong here? Is this a stupid hill to die on? A part of me wants to see a divorce lawyer just to know my options because I am not sure this will ever change. I know it sounds selfish, but I want kids, and now I do not see myself having any with my husband in the foreseeable future. If this is not going to work out, I do not want to spend the next 5 years wasting time and money on therapy and missing out on a chance to find someone with whom I can actually start a family. Someone who can be a committed father and husband before being a son. Many thanks to anyone who has read all of this. Edit. Thank you, everyone. I stepped away for a while and came back to a lot of support. I think it's time to put my big girl pants on, unfortunately. Update. I posted a month ago about my husband essentially abandoning me at the hospital so he could entertain his visiting mother. I wanted to share an update. We are done. I am still staying at my sister's place and my boss is allowing me to work remotely because of the commute. However, I have found an apartment that I will move into in July, which is only a 10-minute drive from my job. Thank you to everyone who responded. Your messages were overwhelming at first, and I went into defensive mode, worried I had painted my husband in a negative light. But your support really helped me see things clearly. During the first week I was away, my husband and I spoke on the phone every day. He asked his mother to leave as soon as possible so that I would feel comfortable coming back. After a week, I told him I still needed space and would be returning the next day to pick up more belongings. When he saw that I had an empty bag and my sister brought 2 empty suitcases, he realized I was taking a lot with me because I did not plan to return soon. He asked to talk and I agreed so we could finish the conversation. I told him we needed to separate. He tried to argue that his mother only visits for a few weeks each year and that everything else is fine. I explained that the problem is he expects me to be okay with him ignoring my feelings to prioritize hers during those weeks. Things do not magically go back to normal when she leaves. There is lingering resentment toward him for repeating this behavior and self-hatred for myself for letting it continue. He wanted to go back to couples therapy. I told him it had not worked last time. We had a great therapist who helped him establish boundaries and deliver consequences when his mother overstepped. However, as soon as she arrived, she would break a boundary. He would let it slide, and then she would feel free to ignore all of them. When I tried to enforce boundaries, I received no support and was made out to be the bad guy. This is where I might have been a bit harsh. I told him I am turning 30 this year and I want to start a family, but I cannot imagine doing so with him. If he cannot put me first when I am just out of surgery, why would I believe he would put our children first? I reminded him that his mother will retire in less than 10 years. What will happen when she decides she is frail and lonely? I asked if he would move her in, regardless of whether I was comfortable with it. He replied, "I am all she has." That moment made me realize this was not the life I thought we were building or the life I wanted. He asked if he was really that bad of a husband. I mostly lied by saying, "No, but you are just not the husband I need." I told him he needs either a wife who is willing to be the side piece in his relationship with his mother or no wife at all. I left with my sister, and 10 minutes into our ride home, his mother called me. I sent the call to voicemail. I started laughing, and my sister asked what was funny. I replied, "The first thing he did was call his mother and tattle on me for leaving. The divorce papers have been served, and it has been fairly amicable so far. Fingers crossed. Am I the asshole for refusing to recover at home after surgery?" Kitchen Owl said, "I cannot believe the first thing he did was call his mom. I mean, I kind of can believe it, unfortunately, but wow." To this comment, Tuna Stuffed Potato said, "For real, what a way to cement the fact that OP made the right choice. He went ahead and proved her right immediately, laugh out loud. Poor idiot does not realize his mother is setting him up for a miserably lonely future as her son's band and retirement plan. No woman will ever be good enough for him in her eyes because she wants him all to herself." User Efferent Copy said, "I mean, I would probably call my mom immediately, but if my mom came to visit when my spouse was scheduled to have surgery, she would either be waiting with me at the hospital for support or out making a grocery run and preparing something mild and comforting for him to eat during recovery. Her natural urge is to mother everyone indiscriminately, and she somehow managed to do that without being enmeshed with her own children." This last post was also made in the AITA subreddit by a user named 𝒸𝓃𝓣𝑔. The post is titled, "I recorded my friend's fiance at her bachelorette party and played the recording for him. I was invited to the bachelorette party for my friend's fiance. It was over the long weekend at a vacation rental on the beach. There was booze, a hot tub, and great food. It was definitely a hit. At one point, I was on the deck looking at the ocean, and the bride was drunk in the hot tub with two of her friends. She said she felt more relaxed than she had in a while. I assumed she was referring to wedding planning. One of her friends asked if she was having trouble with the little monster. She said no, that he was manageable for now. At that point, I realized that they were talking about my friend's son. I took out my phone and started recording them. The bride's friends said horrible things about my friend's son, and the bride responded positively to everything, laughing and agreeing. Then she said that it was too bad he was not old enough to be sent to military school. I stopped recording when their topic changed. I do not think they ever realized I was close enough to hear them. When we got back, I asked to meet with my friend and played him the recording. He was quiet while he listened. After the recording was finished, he asked me to send it to him, which I did. Then he asked me to delete it, which I said I would do, but have not yet. I feel like an asshole for interfering, I really do. However, I am worried about my friend's son. Depending on what my friend does, I might need to send this recording to the poor boy's family. I feel like I have overstepped, but what else can I do? Was I being an asshole? Update. Yesterday afternoon, I got a text from my friend asking me to block his fiance's number. I was a bit thrown by the request and asked if everything was okay. He said he could not talk right now and asked me to please just block the number, so I blocked it. I have a weird glitch with my Android Auto where if a blocked number calls me, it shows up on my car's screen as a missed call, even though my actual phone does not ring at all. Later, while I was driving, I saw a ton of missed calls from her. There were so many that it exceeded what my car will show me. I kept the number blocked. Later, my friend's best friend, who was supposed to be the best man, called me and asked if I had heard from our friend. I said yes and asked why. He sent me a screenshot from the fiance's Facebook, where she was talking about how people show their true colors and saying she was newly single. I tried to call my friend, but he did not answer. Tonight, I finally heard back from him. The long and short of it is that he asked her how she feels about his son. She said he is adorable and sweet. My friend played her the recording and she asked where he got it. He refused to tell her, saying it should not matter. She immediately guessed it was me, but he refused to confirm that. She was angry that he would not tell her I recorded their conversation and said she cannot trust him anymore. She called off the wedding. It is not a great update, but since so many of you were invested, I thought you would want to know. Update 2. This past week has been just nuts. What feels like forever ago, I was at my friend's fiance's bachelorette party. At the party, she said and reacted positively to inappropriate statements about my friend's son. So I recorded her and sent the recording to my friend. When my friend played the recording for her, she wanted to know where he got it, but he refused to tell her. She called off the wedding, stating that she could not trust him. I just found out that she has declared her intention to sue my friend for any funds she has already spent on the wedding, even though she left him. He is out a lot of money too, probably around as much as she is, so if anything, she should be compensating him. She is also telling people that she left him because she feared for her safety as he was spying on her and having her followed, which is a complete lie. She has gone from saying that my friend is the love of her life and she cannot wait to spend forever with him, to saying he is manipulative, controlling, and has ruined her life. Quite a turn. She apparently wants around $25,000 to reimburse her for her dress, the cake deposit, the florist's fee, the wedding planner's fee, and her emotional pain and suffering. It is an absolute mess, and the wedding was supposed to be in 8 days, so several people already have non-refundable travel arrangements and are completely confused. I have her number blocked, but she emailed me saying she would accept monetary contributions toward my friend's debt from me since this situation is all my fault, because she knows I am the one who recorded her. I reported the email as spam and ignored it. My friend already paid for the venue and the catering, so he is considering throwing some sort of impromptu fundraiser for a local charity that day, but it is probably too close to the date in question to get the word out. This whole sequence of events has me in utter disbelief. Overall Search said, I don't think people really understand lawsuits. To this, 𝒸𝓃𝟑 said, no lawyer is going to take her seriously. She has no grounds whatsoever to sue, and if she tried small claims court, she would be laughed out of the courtroom. The real Mr. Chaos said, a liar never attacks the truth. They attack the situation. Notice she never denied saying that. She attacked how he found out. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, GamerSupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.